up, guys. Big up, guys. I'm here at last. I was supposed to come on earlier, but obviously the Wi-Fi is playing up again. So I couldn't. 7:25, I put as the time I was going to come on. But obviously, never mind. I'm actually here, got it to work properly. And I was almost going to do this stream tomorrow, to be honest. But with it all accelerating, and of course, we now know Keith Andrews is our new manager. Rightly or wrongly, he's our new manager. And I will be getting into that very soon. What I feel about all that. And I'll see, talk about it, but who knows? But we got to give the guy a go at the end of the day. And I will obviously go through the article about it all. Plenty to talk about with him there. And these other couple of signings we might be getting. Well, at least I think Milambo is definitely happening at the moment. Looks like a deal has been agreed. Antoni Milambo. And this other guy, Adama Bojang, is in talks. Apparently, we're in talks with his representatives. So, yeah, plenty to chat about. And maybe afterwards I might just put the link in there in the live chat. So if anyone wants to come on and discuss any of this, what they think, their opinions, you're welcome to. It's a very important thing for us, for the Bees, you know. A very important decision we come to here. And we're going to see if it's going to make or break us, to be honest. I'm hoping it's going to make us, to be honest, but we'll see. There is a few comments here, Warren. Be up to you, bro. Hi, Steve. I hope you are okay. Yeah, cool, mate. Obviously, all this going on, so I've got to sort of talk about it, haven't I? Being a Bees fan. Warren's team talk again. Barmy Army. Yeah, the cricket, exactly. Could say we're a little bit balmy, the Bees, to be honest. With this, who knows? Who knows? It could prove to be a good one again. A great decision. You never know. Yeah, Keith Andrews' page on transfermarket.com. Yeah. I know you sent me that link before, mate. Yeah. I might go on there. I don't know. I might. I have got other sort of articles, but yeah, I may bring that up a bit later. We'll see, mate. But obviously I want to get into all this and, talk about it, really. And this is the big news. If I can get this to come up, because Wi-Fi is playing up again. Fucking useless. Right, here we go. Hopefully I can bring this up. And here he is, Keith Andrews. Brentford appoint Keith Andrews as head coach. Keith Andrews appointed Brentford head coach. The 44-year-old has been part of the Bees' first team coaching staff since July 2024. Director of football Phil Giles. Keith is a very good fit. He is clear in what he wants. He's detailed and the players and staff like and respect him. Well, there you go. That's a pretty good start, to be honest, isn't it? They do like and respect him. That's pretty good. That's what we want to see and want to hear. No good if nobody likes him and wants to turn the fuck off. Why would they get him in the first place, I suppose, So anyway, Brentford are delighted to announce the appointment of Keith Andrews as head coach. Andrews takes on the role having been part of the Bees' first team coaching staff since July 2024. Keith is a very good fit, said Director of Football Phil Giles. He gets on with everyone. He's very open and he's a learner. Keith is clear in what he wants. He's detailed and the players and staff like and respect him. He understands the players in the building and the way we've played and trained under Thomas Frank. Keith will bring his own evolution, but isn't starting from scratch. So hopefully we can make some quick progress. He's a very good coach and has clear ideas and about how he wants the team to improve. We were looking for somebody not just to maintain what we've been doing, but actually try and get better. Keith, yeah, I just read all that. Assistant first team coach Justin Cochran, head of athletic performance Chris Haslam, and first team analyst Joe Newton joined Frank at Tottenham Hotspur. On these vacancies, Charles added, there's been a lot of work going into what the team around Keith looks like. How do we take what we had last year and get better? That process is ongoing. We have to look at the blend of skills and experience. It's an exciting project to have these roles open together. We'll build it over time and learn about strengths and weaknesses. We'll build it step by step and get the right balance. Andrews joined Brentford as set-piece coach in July 2024, departing Sheffield United where he had been part of the coaching setup under Chris Wilder. Prior to that, the 44-year-old was assistant manager to Stephen Kenny during the Dubliners' 3-year spell as Republic of Ireland boss, 2020 to 2023. And served as MK Dons assistant manager for the 2015-16 championship campaign. A midfielder, Andrews represented the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Hull City, MK Dons and Blackburn Rovers during a 16-year playing career which began in 1999. Andrews earned 35 caps for Republic of Ireland and featured at UEFA Euro 2012. Yeah, so that's obviously the article there. And is it true that he's volatile? I've read that. I've seen about that. If that's the case, I guess, well, yeah, if he is. I mean, the thing is, you know, they seem to like and respect him, the players, so maybe that's not exactly totally true. He can be maybe slightly, I guess. I don't know. You know, the thing is, you know, not everyone is a Thomas Frank, are they? You know, he's a difficult act to follow, Thomas Frank, and this guy's got to do something. He's never been a manager before, and you know, he was obviously a set piece coach. I've got other things, obviously, that another article that I could go into about it, obviously. But if that's true that they like him there, respect him, well, this was obviously a no-brainer in the end, I guess. I mean, a lot of us are looking at it and thinking, well, is this going to be a total fucking disaster, you know? A total big, you know, risk, a gamble. You know, the likes of fucking with Arteta at Arsenal. But then, you know, with Arteta at Arsenal, they're keeping him there no matter how shit he's doing. Hey, Warren. So, I think if this guy does fuck up, if it looks like it's going to shit, I'm sure they'll get rid of him. They've done it before. He won't be kept on. You know, we'll move him on, whatever. So, I think we can be ruthless, and I think Matthew Benham can be ruthless. So, in a way, I've got no issues because, you know, we've got to give the guy a go. He's got a 3-year deal. Let's see what he can do. You know, let's not poo-poo this totally already. We're trying to do the right thing yet again, you know, hiring from inside. This guy was here from July 2024. The set-piece coach, they seem to like him, the players, they seem to respect him. And, you know, if they've got that, if that's the case, it should be okay. We should be fine. You know, I wasn't totally happy with this. I've got to say that he would never have been my first choice. obviously we know would have been my first choice, probably likes of Gary O'Neill, the guy at Bodo Glimt, Knutson, I believe his name is. Wanted to even Ange, would have taken Big Ange. So, but we've got this guy, and we just obviously got to get on with it now. And the good thing is, positive thing, it hasn't taken too long. We've gone through this fairly quickly, and got into this quick, and not taken time to find a new manager. Because if we'd taken too long, we wouldn't be able to get these other deals sorted. And obviously the players going out like Bramo. Apparently that won't be affected, him going or Norgard. We could get, apparently it could, actually accelerate those deals, because Keith Andrews wants to get on with what, building his own team, his own backroom staff, and that's another thing I'll talk about in a minute. So I'll get onto that very soon. Well, this is actually what it says here about, obviously about the deals for Bramo going ahead to Man United and so forth. I hope does it come up? Yeah, it's come up. Yeah. What Brentford managerial decision means for Manchester United's second summer signing. Man United are close to their second signing of the summer transfer window. Brentford have officially appointed Keith Andrews as their new head coach following the departure of Thomas Frank to Tottenham Hotspur. The 44-year-old first joined Brentford a year ago to become their new set-piece coach, and has now been rewarded with his first step into senior management. It is an important element of continuity for the Bees in the summer, when there is expected to be plenty of change in other departments. Not only have they lost the manager who led them for 7 years, but they are also set to lose at least 2 key players in the summer transfer window. Manchester United are close to a deal that will bring Brian Bramo to Old Trafford, while Arsenal have agreed a deal to sign midfielder Christian Norgard. Neither deal is set to be impacted by the managerial appointment, with both players already committed to their proposed exits. If anything, the appointment could accelerate both deals, with Andrews keen to push on with his own summer transfer rebuild ahead of the pre-season schedule. Brian Bramo transfer latest. Brian Bramo has already turned down the chance to join former manager Thomas Frank at Tottenham Hotspur, and will not have his head turned by the appointment of Keith Andrews. Manchester United have reached a basic agreement to sign Bramo and are happy to pay a £60 million base fee for the forward, with add-ons set to take the overall package towards roughly £65 million. Brentford have used the transfer Matthias Cunha as a benchmark for Bramo and believe he should be valued at least as highly as the Wolves star. I totally agree, probably more actually, 70 mil, 80 mil myself. But there we go. As the Wolves star has joined United for £62.5 million. The London club initially set a £65 million valuation for Bramo, and made it clear he was not for sale unless the side paid the bulk of that fee up front. Too right too. United remain confident they will wrap up the deal for the 25-year-old soon and have him in place when they begin their pre-season schedule early next month. Right now, the only thing left to do is finalise the payment structure of the £60 million and determine achievable add-ons that both clubs are happy with. Bramo will then be permitted to undergo a medical and complete his media duties as a new signing. Well, apparently he's got his medical next week. It's happening next week, so at Man United. So, yeah, it's obviously that's going forward very quickly, accelerating. That move, he's going to Man United, of course. And good luck to him. But obviously, we need to find a replacement, and hopefully we will. This is obviously another one that we obviously Keith Andrews is looking at to be one of his backroom staff, I believe. And yeah, hopefully it's come up. I believe it has. It's all going a bit slowly because of the Wi-Fi. Apologies, guys. Yeah, it's going there. We're getting there slowly. Yeah, exclusive. Brentford interested in signing the Sheffield Wednesday manager option. The Premier League side is interested in the signing of one of Sheffield Wednesday's soon-to-be out-of-contract coaching team, the Star understands. Brentford are expected to announce the appointment of Keith Andrews as manager after the departure of long-time boss Thomas Frank to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, of course, he has been announced. He is here now at the Bees. With the former Republic of Ireland international set to step up from his position within Frank's coaching team in what will be his first full management role. Frank took assistant first coach Justin Cochran, head of athletic performance Chris Haslam, and first team analyst Joe Newton with him to Spurs, meaning Andrews will have to pull together the bulk of a fresh coaching team. And the Star understands that ours assistant coach, Henrik Pedersen, is someone Andrews is interested in signing as part of a new look coaching setup at the GTEC Community Stadium. The Star reported earlier this week that Pedersen was a likely option as Wednesday boss, with talks taking place between the club and Danny Roll to negotiate the German coach's formal exit from the Hillsborough dugout. It's understood that remains the case. The Dane is among the Owls coaching staff whose contracts runs out at the turn of the month and will effectively become a free agent. Now, it's understood he is receptive to the idea of replacing Roll and would be a popular choice in the changing room. Pedersen is known to have settled in South Yorkshire and would represent a potential fast-moving option as the days to the start of the season continue ticking down. So, will we? I'm not sure we are going to get him then. If that's the case, we'll, what does that mean? Are we after him or not? Are we going to get him? I can't see it if he's staying at Sheffield Wednesday and being the new manager. So that's really something I don't understand. That if Keith Andrews wants him, it's not going to happen. But anyway, I want to try and I'll go to this. Yeah, let's see what Warren's might do that one. Go to that link. Transfermarket.com. Well, actually, no, I'll go back to this later. I think I want to talk about these other good things now, about these positive things about new signings. I could go back to that later, but just get off this now. This is obviously something that affects us, and just bring this one up. Sorry, guys, I'm just bringing this up. Yeah, Brentford face make or break summer in bid to regenerate again. Significant spend needed as Brian Braymo and Christian Norgard prepare to follow Thomas Frank out the door. QPR fans didn't mean it as a compliment when Hoop supporters began chanting, "You're just a bus stop in Hounslow." Yeah, and you're a quarter pound of fucking rubbish. QPR, by the way. And we got you in a friendly, of course, pre-season friendly. You and Borussia Dortmund in a couple of pre-season friendlies. So, should be interesting. At their Brentford counterparts at a game a few years back. What they intended as a slight on the Bees' modest history instead just gave them ammunition. Yeah. Brentford reclaimed the phrase to boast how they've punched above their weight, perhaps more so than any club in England of late. Moneyballing their way to the Premier League and now preparing for their 5th straight top-flight campaign. Now, though, comes a defining moment for the club. Doubts about Brentford's direction of travel followed the departure of Thomas Frank, who since 2018 had been the friendly face of this superbly well-run club. But that big move to Tottenham could not be passed up. Frank, the latest in a long line of key Brentford assets plucked by the mighty. Meanwhile, Manchester United are edging closer to signing Brentford's talisman Brian Bramo, and captain Christian Norgard is joining Arsenal. In the background, the Bees have been appointing their own set-piece coach, Keith Andrews, as the new head coach. Frank himself was promoted from within, but Andrews has never had a head coach role before, and Standard Sport reported that in April he applied unsuccessfully for the role at MK Dons. Nearly relegated to non-league. It is little wonder many fans are critical of such a risky appointment. Make or break time. Brentford have finished 13th, 9th, 16th and 10th since reaching the big time. A remarkable achievement for a club whose wage bill registers in the bottom 3. They lost Ollie Watkins and Saeed Benrahma to Aston Villa and West Ham. Waved goodbye to Arsenal-bound David Raya, and were powerless to prevent Ivan Toney's exit to Al Ahly. Each time they reinvented themselves. The worry is that Southampton serve as a cautionary tale for how it all can end for upwardly mobile clubs repeatedly pillaged for their best players. Yeah. Saints came up in 2012 and hung around, but the pressure to replace lost talent such as Luke Shaw, Sadio Mane, Virgil van Dijk and manager Maurizio Pochettino eventually proved too great. Having resisted the slip for so long, their resolve ran out in 2023 after 11 years. A big summer of spending is needed if Brentford are to avoid the same fate. Given those already exiting and that Johan Visser is admired across the continent too, Frank has taken respected coach Justin Cochrane, performance director Chris Haslam and analyst Joe Newton with him to Spurs. Added firepower in attack is needed whether or not Bramo or Visser leave, and more quality in midfield. It must not be undersold quite how impressive it is that what Brentford have achieved. Of the past 15 promoted teams, only 5 have stayed up. Leeds suffered second season syndrome, and Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth both broke spending rules. That leaves Fulham and Brentford as the outliers. And the Bees have lasted longer and on a smaller budget. Brentford have just reopened their academy, have a scouting network that tracks 85,500 players. And thanks to owner Matthew Benham's past life as the founder of the formula-driven sports statistical research company Smart Odds, boasts some of the best player data in the Premier League. Director of Football Phil Giles and Technical Director Lee Dykes know their decisions this summer could make or break Brentford's status as a sustainable Premier League club. We will soon learn just how enduring the Brentford model is. Can they regenerate again? Yeah, that's a big question, isn't it? I hope we have the answer to it. I really do. I really do here. Because if we haven't, we're in deep shit. But I kind of believe in what's going on and in Matthew Benham and the club. And I'll keep believing until this goes sour. If it goes wrong, then that's it. I will stand up against it. I will kick up some shit. I'm not going to take it. If this goes fucking, south, that is it. And if we don't get rid of the guy, if he fucks it up, Keith Andrews, then that's it. I'm not going to accept that. And the guy will have to go. He'll have to go. And we all know that. So, anyway, I'm going to move on to these signings. We're almost sort of getting, and we have pretty much got a deal, already got a deal sorted for Antoni Milambo. So, and it's this, obviously, I'll bring this up. Think it's come up, yeah. Got a few articles about this guy, actually. A few articles here. Brentford agreed deal to sign 20-year-old midfielder. There we go. And Brentford lean into the future with Milambo arrival as Norgard exits for Arsenal. A familiar rhythm of departures and rebirth. There is something oddly poetic about Brentford's strategy this summer. No grand proclamations, no headlines stolen by glitzy unveilings, but rather the quiet, studied recalibration of a club acutely aware of its place in the food chain. The departure of Christian Norgard to Arsenal, a midfielder once central to their press and pivot ethos, would have drawn panic elsewhere in West London. It has triggered, elsewhere in West London, it has triggered a £17 million answer, Antoni Milambo, according to the Mirror. Yes, it is the Mirror, but this is actually true. This is happening. Sometimes they talk a load of shit. The Mirror, it's not all true, but this one definitely is. The Dutch midfielder, 20 years old, and with the ink still fresh from a standout under-21 European Championships in Slovakia, is not here as a like for like. Norgard's game was laced with positional discipline and ball retrieval. Milambo's all timing and ambition, a flickering pulse of invention rather than a metronome. But Brentford are not interested in recreating what they lose. They evolve. A long courtship now close to conclusion. Milambo's arrival, subject to a few final details, will be the first major move of the Keith Andrews era, assuming his appointment is confirmed, which it obviously is. So, yet this story is more Thomas Frank than it is Andrews. The Dane greenlit the Milambo deal in his final weeks, mapping out how the final youngster would integrate into the Brentford midfield ecosystem. What Brentford offered was clarity and purpose. The pitch to Milambo's camp was structured and future-facing, appealing to a player who had already made history as Feyenoord's youngest debutant and had scored against Benfica in the Champions League. They showed him more than minutes. They showed him progression. Brentford presented a project that made sense, said a source close to the deal. It wasn't just about the Premier League badge. It was the idea of growing with the club. Milambo himself, while coy in interviews, had verbal terms in place by the end of May. A loss measured in structure, not sentiment. Norgard's move to Arsenal feels abrupt. Signed to a 2-year deal in March. Signed to a new two-year deal in March. rejecting offers abroad and now heading across London for a fee of £10 million plus bonuses. For Brentford, the blow is softened by the financial logic. For the player, the timing makes sense. European competition, a title push, and a chance to play under Mikel Arteta were too good to ignore. Well, was it too good to ignore playing under Mikel Arteta? I'm sure a lot of others will disagree there. It's not who really wants to play for Mikel Arteta, and I'm sure Warren has come up with an answer there. Nobody. Because he's a prick, an arrogant, absolute cunt. And what he's done to players and ruined them, ruined their careers. And he could do the same with him, Norgard. And as much as I want him to do well, I think he'd be fucked there. He'd be screwed by Arteta. I really do. He'll probably even play him out of position. He'll probably play him at left back or something, or right back, or striker or something. Fucking, that guy's an absolute prick. And I can't believe he's gone there. But still, I think we have got the best out of him. We may have got the best out of him. So if he goes to Arsenal and fucks up, who cares in a way? But, good luck to him still. To Christian Norgard. So, what he done for us, I think he was amazing. And that last season he had with us, he was great. He was a fantastic season. Scored 5-6 goals, I think. Most ever. He's not really an attacking midfielder. So he done well, and he looked really good. And he got 5 goals. So Arsenal still got a good player there, but they may not have the player at his best. So, we made money on him at the end of the day. So we only paid 2.8 million for him. We got more than that back. So you could say we've been shrewd again with what we've done. Now heading across London for a fee of 10 million plus bonuses. Yeah, I've read all this, of course, yeah. A chance to play under Mikel Arteta, yeah, okay. I think I'll pass that up myself, to be quite honest with you. But Brentford do not chase ghosts. Norgard was an anchor, yes, but Brentford's recruitment strategy does not replace it pivots. Milambo's profile is dynamic and forward-thinking. His ability to play as both a number 8 and number 10, giving Andrews or whoever formally takes charge a new set of tools. Identity shaped by evolution, not imitation. There's a pragmatism in this that feels uniquely Brentford. They know when to sell, they know when to strike, and more often than not, they know when to bet on the future rather than cling to the familiar, obviously. Milambo, who scored 3 Eredivisie goals in 29 appearances last season, is not here to replicate Norgard. He's here to become something different, maybe even something better. With Sepp van den Berg also in the fold and an identity already baked into the walls of the GTEC Community Stadium, Brentford are playing their hand with clarity. It may not feel loud, but it sounds like long-term planning. Our view, EPL index analysis. For Brentford fans, this is the kind of move that generates real excitement. Not just because they're signing one of Europe's most promising young midfielders, but because they're doing it with purpose. Antoni Milambo isn't just a name plucked from nowhere. He's a product of smart scouting, of meticulous planning, and of a club that continues to outthink its peers. Losing Norgard will sting. There's no pretending otherwise. He gave them structure, composure and heart. But the timing feels right. Letting him go to Arsenal for 10 million with a solid plan already in motion feels like good business and even better foresight. Milambo has already shown flashes of brilliance, not least in the Champions League. He plays with a freedom and technical quality that could elevate their midfield in new ways. If he adjusts to the pace and physicality of the Premier League, Brentford could be looking at a player with elite potential and the future they can build around. So there we go. And a bit more about him here. I'll go to this one. And share this. I haven't got anyone in the live chat now. I don't know where Warren's gone, but still. Nobody else yet coming in here, but still, hopefully you'll all enjoy this live or on playback, whatever, wherever you're watching it on. Anyway, so yeah, it's come up. So I'll go into this article. A great club to join. Player finds ally over Brentford move despite questions being raised. Final midfielder Antoni Milambo is justified seeking a move to Brentford as they are a great club to join. That's according to journalist Stuart Musu via Final Pings, who can understand the midfielder pushing for the move despite the criticism coming from the Netherlands. Brentford have been chasing the 20-year-old midfielder for nearly 2 months, having initially met him in London and agreed personal terms. A transfer from Feyenoord has been going backwards and forwards since, although the latest reports from the Netherlands have indicated there is a confidence from all parties that a deal will be done at some point. But apparently the deal has been done. We're just waiting for confirmation now, probably medical, of course. Questions have been raised by fans and journalists alike, though particularly amid reports that Milambo is pushing for the move to Brentford because he believes he has achieved everything that he can with Feyenoord. That in itself has been described as a ludicrous thing to suggest, given he was just 60 appearances for them to date after making his debut under Arne Slot in April 2023. Mosudo can see where the youngster is coming from, believing that Brentford are an ideal team to sign for given the structure they have in place. A lot needs to happen at Brentford because they are losing their captain, top scorer and trainer, he said on the AD Football podcast. I understand Milambo's move in itself. Everyone wants to play in the Premier League and Brentford is a great club to join. Brentford is a club that works according to a certain philosophy, a stable club. Despite the fact that the coach is leaving now, it is a well-run organisation, just like Brighton. Those are clubs where you can develop well and really have a plan for players. So there we go, that's that one as well. And I'll just go to this other player, but obviously that's happening. Milambo, the deal has been agreed. It looks like it's 20 mil. And we're just waiting now for confirmation, total confirmation of that. And he'll obviously have a medical. And then he'll be announced. And then I will bring the stream, do the stream about him being announced, of course. And I am excited for this. I like the look of this guy, this young man. And he is going to be different to Norgard. We all know, we can see that. He's going to be a lot different. Could be in a good way, I think, because, obviously Norgard, as great as he was never a real attacking midfielder. And this guy will be. He is. And he's going to bring us more going forward, definitely. So I'm actually happy with this deal, this transfer. It's not going to be far away now, I think. I think it's going to be, he's obviously got to have a medical. So, and then he'll be totally confirmed and announced. But I'm going to move on to this other player. Another exciting one. By the looks of it, apparently we're in talks with this player. Hopefully it's come up. Yep. Yeah, it's come up. Right. Bo Selector. Remember that show? That was really funny. But yeah, anyway. Brentford plot move to beat West Ham to transfer of Reims striker dubbed the new Adebayor. Things are getting busy at the GTEC Community Stadium. Brentford have held talks to sign Gambian wonder kid Adama Bojang, but could face a fight with West Ham for the highly rated forward. The exciting 21-year-old caught the attention of Manchester United, Man City and Chelsea in 2023, before stealing the switch to French side Stade Reims. He spent last season on loan in Switzerland with Grasshopper club Zurich, where he bagged 6 goals and chipped in with 2 assists across 27 appearances. He netted a hat-trick against FC Luzerne in April and scored twice against Ineos-owned FC Lausanne Sport in February. In Gambia, Bojang is known as the next Emmanuel Adebayor, thanks to his lanky frame, technical ability and blistering pace. Bojang is regarded as one of the most promising African talents of his generation and was previously courted by RB Leipzig, Eintracht Frankfurt and Hoffenheim before heading to France 2 years ago. Sunsport understands Brentford have already held talks with the players' representatives and believe a fee of around just $5 million could be enough to tempt Reims into selling this summer. The Bees are undergoing a major summer rebuild and are on the cusp of appointing current set-piece coach Keith Andrews as the successor to Thomas Frank. Well, they have. He has joined. It's already been announced. They're also bracing for the departure of star forward Brian Bramo. Manchester United have launched a £60 million bid, but Brentford are holding out for closer to $65 million, which I think obviously is going to happen anyway. He's going to have his medical next week there at Man United. The Bees are also set to lose dependable Christian Norgard this summer after Arsenal bid $9 million for the midfielder to replace departing Thomas Partey. West Ham, meanwhile, have also spoken to Bojang's camp, while an unnamed Premier League club are believed to be monitoring the situation. The Hammers are expected to be in the market for forwards, with the futures of Nicholas Füllkrug and Mikel Antonio both uncertain. They admire Bojang's potential and see him as a long-term project, but now face serious competition from Brentford, who are suddenly scrambling to rebuild after Frank's shock departure. Well, this could be another good one. Yeah, I hated the way Adebayor was. He was a bit of a prick at times, bad attitude and so forth. But he certainly had ability. He was, he's tall, quick, had a great touch, great ability, skill. And if this guy is the same, then this could be a no-brainer as well. And, an ideal striker there for us. If we do lose Visser especially, and we don't get Igor Thiago playing too much, this guy could be just right, just what we need, really. And I hope we can get this over the line. I hope we can beat West Ham to his signature. I know West Ham are a decent team, they're sort of a big team in a way, but of course they were struggling last season and we were well above them. You would think that he'd want to come to us, but then of course we have lost Thomas Frank now and going to lose at least 2 or 3 of our best players at least. So, what will happen? Will he? I'm hoping he'll still sign. You know, I really hope it's going to happen because we do need good players in, new players, and I think this guy could be ideal. I really do. I don't know if I might have done. Hold on a minute. Actually, no, I didn't read this. Hold on a minute, guys. This is obviously about Milambo again. So I'll just read this one. Hold on a minute. Yeah. So anyway, with this player, I think this would be ideal. If we can beat West Ham to him, this would be incredible. Another great deal. Another shrewd signing. Another young player, of course. So, you know, we're going to youth again. And, you know, we're going to make them better, hopefully. We're going to improve them even more. And obviously, we will probably get more out of them. We'll probably sell them on for more money than we pay for them. Because, they're going to, other big teams are going to see what they're about and see how good they are and want to sign them from us. So we are going to have to keep reinventing. I think we're going to keep doing it, regenerating and whatever. So this is one I'm excited about too. I love this if this happens, and obviously I will bring this do a live stream with it about this as well. Do a stream for this one, for both these deals, of course. So let's hope we get him. You know, Keith Andrews is in place now. Let's see what he's got about him. Can he do a Thomas Frank and charm him to come in and make him join? Well, Milambo that's definitely happening. We know that. But can we get this other guy in now? Adama Bojang. Let's hope we can. But anyway, getting back to Milambo, just want to read this one. And then I'm going to put the link in. And if anyone is watching, nobody's in the live chat, I'll put the link in. If anyone does want to come on and talk about, actually, I'll put it in there now. Anyone does want to come in and talk about this and what they think about the new manager or whatever else, or these players we're after or anything. Let's talk about the bees in general. You know, you're welcome to. The link is there. Before I go, I'll only be on here till about, I don't know, maybe 1:45. So I won't be on here too long. So if you want to come on, don't leave it too long. You know, obviously I will. This is a fairly quickish one. It's not going to be it's going to be maybe 1 hour odd, but certainly not going to go to 2 hours. So anyway, so the link's there, guys. Anyone wants to come on quickly and have a little chat about it, you're welcome to. But anyway, I'm going to get through this. Brentford close in on Antoni Milambo as first signing of Keith Andrews' reign. The highly rated Dutch youngster comes with a big reputation. Brentford are in advanced talks to sign final midfielder Antoni Milambo. Standard Sport understands negotiations have been ongoing since April, and the Bees are confident of landing the highly rated 20-year-old. Milambo, who graduated through Feyenoord's academy, can play as a central midfielder or attacking midfielder, and was a key player for the side that finished third in the Dutch Eredivisie this season. The Bees intend to bolster their midfield and attacking options this summer, with captain Christian Norgard set to join Arsenal for an initial £10 million, and talismanic forward Brian Bramo is edging towards a move to Manchester United. Brentford have already seen their manager Thomas Frank depart after he succeeded Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham. He will be replaced by set-piece coach Keith Andrews in his first head coach role. If the club move decisively to complete a deal for Milambo, the Dutch youth international will become the first signing of Andrews' reign. Milambo scored 3 times in the Champions League last season, was this week part of the Netherlands squad who were knocked out of the Under-21 European Championship semi-finals by Lee Carsey's England. So, yeah. But, yeah, as I say, the deal has pretty much been confirmed. And it is 20 mil. And, you know, it looks like it's going to be done within the next few days, I would say. The medical will have to happen, we know. He's already agreed personal terms, as we say, in May. So I'm sure this will happen fairly quickly now. And with Keith Andrews there now in place, the new manager, I think this will happen. And I would think, hopefully, the Adama Bojang one will happen as well. I think there'll be 2 great players for us. 2 youngsters again, early 20s. So, you know, the youth system rolls on. The project rolls on, carries on. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a total fucking disaster for Brentford, for the Bees. I thought that myself at one stage. But now I'm given hope. They've given me hope that we're going to turn all this around again and come back again, rejuvenate, regenerate the team, get new players in, new systems, new attacking strategies. You know, I know Keith Andrews will never be Thomas Frank, never. He will never be that good. And this is his first role, his first managerial role. And he has to have a slight bit of time, but not a massive amount if he gets it wrong. But, you know, I've got a lot of hope now. There's a lot of promise to come here with these players coming in as well. We are looking to rebuild. We're getting the players in. We're looking big time to get these players in. Another one was talked about was Madueke from Chelsea. So if we get him in, he'd be the ideal replacement for Bramo. If that happens, he's going to be like, obviously a lot more. He's going to be about 50 mil. But if we get him in, I'll be happy with that as well. The deals are happening. We're trying to get the players in. Keith Andrews is now there in charge. Yeah, he's still got to sort out his backroom staff. We know that. But as he's here, he can get these deals over the line. Obviously, get Ramo to Man United and get that 65 mil. Hopefully, it will be. And we got plenty of money to spend then. And obviously, that money for Norgard from Arsenal, where it looks like it's going to be. Probably it looks like 10 million, 11 million, whatever. We're getting all that in. We're getting the money in. And we're making a profit. Yeah, people think, it looks like a disaster. It looks like we're going to shit the Bees. It's going to be a terrible season, nightmare season. Yeah, it won't be fantastic. Because it's a new system, it's a new manager, it's a total new, different direction we're going to go in now for this next season. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be, you can get a bit scared, a bit worried about how it's going to go. But at the end of the day, of course, it will be different because it's going to be, we've been under Thomas Frank for so long. And it's going to be different now. We've got a new manager where, first job as a manager. Yeah. He's been here. He knows the team. He's set-piece coach. But managerial work is different, that position, you know. It's going to be tougher for him. But I hope they do give him a bit of time. And we are going to give him time, us fans, you know. You know, this is a journey into the unknown, because, you know, being under Thomas Frank for so long and having this success, and, you know, we haven't actually won a trophy as yet. So maybe that could be something, you know, Andrews could achieve, could try and rise to and elevate to, you know, to win us a trophy. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Or get into Europe even, you know. It ain't going to happen in his first season, that's for sure. But if he's got time, he's given time, we stay up. That's the thing. If it looks like he's going to keep us up, that's even better, you know. Then he kicks on in his next season, and we go better. We go one better again. You know, so I'm not saying. I mean, as much as I'd love this, this wasn't quite what I had planned. I thought would happen for us, but it's happening, and I have to get used to it. All the B supporters have to get used to it. And we pretty much have. I mean, we're going to give the guy a go and see what he can do. And if it doesn't happen, it don't work out, he's going to have to go. You know. And I'm sure we will be ruthless enough to get rid of him. But anyway, guys, it looks like nobody's going to come on. I'm hoping, hope you all enjoyed it anyway, watching live or on playback. And haven't had as many in the live chat, but thanks to Warren for coming in the live chat. Thanks, buddy. Bro. Thanks for that, bro. Anyway, follow me on Insta at Mr. B for Life 182 and subscribe to Mr. B Hiver Football Chat and Mr. B Chats England Cricket, you know, down there on the ticker. You know, please keep subbing and smashing the likes. Still on 130. It'd be great if we can get this going up again, guys, and, you know, get me to the 150, that milestone. I'd love that, but please keep smashing the likes, and if you do like the content, sub. And obviously, I'll bring out a few more streams in the next few days, of course. We've plenty to talk about with the bees still. You know, if these deals get over the line, the likes of this Bojang and Milambo, I'll obviously bring the streams out, and whatever else is happening, any other news, and of course to do with obviously Norgard and of course anything else. Boomo, I should say, Bramo, sorry. I'm almost forgetting him now because we're going to lose him. So I'm nearly forgetting he's here now. He's still here. But he won't be for much longer, unfortunately. So Bramo, yeah, going, and Norgard. But still, as I say, hopefully, you know, this club does know what it's doing. And it's proved it as over the seasons, the years. So hopefully we get this right as well. They've got this one right. Remains to be seen. But as I say, going to give this guy a go. Keith Andrews, the new Bees boss. Please, please, get us going, man. Let us sting again and be successful. You know, we were doing it under Thomas. Can we now do this under Keith? Let's hope. Let's hope, guys. Anyway, I'm going to bounce and obviously get something to eat and whatever else. And obviously, as I say, until the next one, guys, which may be tomorrow, maybe, don't know, Sunday, maybe next week, I don't know. whatever happens, I will bring it to you. Obviously, this was nearly going to be tomorrow, but I've done it today. So anyway, thanks, guys. And I'm out of here until the next one. Cheers, guys. I'm bouncing. Cheers.